Today's episode of Variant is brought to you by GoDaddy.
Today on Variant, I tell you about my 5 favorite comic book sidekicks. Welcome to Variant, where we love comics more than they need to release an official photo of Wonder Woman from the Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice movie. I'm your host, Arris. Today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 sidekicks from comic books, or more specifically, my 5 favorite, as with these sort of things, there's no right or wrong since everyone has a different taste, and likes certain characters more for different reasons. But, with that said, let's talk about the people who are always there giving our heroes or villains a helping hand. What? Villains could have sidekicks? Kicking off my list at number 5 is Red Arrow, now known as Arsenal. Red Arrow first appeared in More Fun Comics issue 73. His real name is Roy Harper, and he was Green Arrow's first sidekick. Red Arrow was also the center of one of the most controversial comic book storylines of all time, Snowbirds Don't Fly, which is the story where Red Arrow is revealed to be addicted to drugs, as you can see from the cover that's currently on your screen. Roy, over the years, has grown to become one of the most accomplished marksmen in the DC universe. After being abandoned by his mentor, Roy is now going by the name Arsenal, making his first appearance as Arsenal in the new Teen Titans issue 99. He has since joined the Outlaws with Red Hood and Starfire, and has made it on my list for a sheer cool factor, being not only a master with the bow and arrow, but with guns and swords. Not to mention, he has great stories. At number 4, we have War Machine. James Rhodes, or Rhodey, made his first appearance as War Machine in Iron Man 282. Most people probably recognize him or like the character because of the Iron Man movies, but truth be told, he was awesome way before his introduction to the big screen. Like the movies though, he's one of Tony's oldest and best friends. Rhodes is such a good friend that he has often donned the Iron Man armor when the burden was way too much to bear for Tony Stark. Eventually though, he established his own identity as War Machine, fighting alongside Tony Stark and even on his own. So why is War Machine such a good sidekick? Well, because clearly he has Iron Man's back whenever he needs him, and his War Machine armor is freaking awesome. I mean, I want a cannon on my shoulder. Who wouldn't want a cannon on their shoulder? Coming in at number 3 is Bucky Barnes, also known as the Winter Soldier. Bucky actually debuted the same year as Red Arrow, which would be 1941. He made his first appearance in Captain America Comics issue 1. That's right, he's been around since the debut of Captain America, and has fought side by side with Cap many times before his apparent death. He was eventually revealed as alive after being absent from the comic books for decades, besides him being in the occasional flashbacks. As we all know, though, Bucky becomes the Winter Soldier, first fighting Cap due to being brainwashed, but later gets his memory back and even dons the role of Captain America after Steve Rogers' apparent death. So he was once Captain America's sidekick, then eventually became Captain America, to now being Winter Soldier, once again defending his country. So I think that's all I have to say for you guys to agree he's one of the best sidekicks around. Even though, like a lot of sidekicks on this list, he's no longer a sidekick. But he started as a sidekick, and that's all that matters. Coming in at number 2, which is probably going to be a curveball for some of you guys, is Harley Quinn. Now, some of you may be saying, she's not a hero. Well, as I said at the beginning of the episode, villains have sidekicks too, and she's the Joker's sidekick slash girlfriend. Harley Quinn, or Dr. Harleen Francis Quinzel, made her first appearance in Batman the Animated Series, but became so popular, she made her way into DC's comic continuity, making her comic book debut in Batman Adventures issue 12, and later got her own series in Harley Quinn issue 1. Harley Quinn is a fantastic sidekick because she is unconditionally loyal to Mr. J. She puts up with the Joker's mental and physical abuse because, well, she's freaking crazy, hence her being in love with the Joker. And not only is she a great sidekick, she's one of the coolest characters in comic books in general, having a crazy, zany personality, being funny, tough, and violent. She's just a cool character all the way around. And at number 1, who I'm sure everybody has guessed by now, is Arthur from The Tick. He's just an awesome character and really strikes fear into the hearts of his enemies. And I am lying so much right now and probably made some of you guys go, what? It's not Robin? How is it not Robin? But guess what? It actually is Robin. Arthur and the Tick comics are fun and all, but he doesn't make it into my top 5. However, Robin does definitely make it into my top 5 and is number 1 at that. He first appeared in Detective Comics issue 38 in 1940. He's pretty much the quintessential sidekick. I mean, him and Batman are called the dynamic duo, and whenever someone thinks of a partner or team up, the first thing that comes to their mind, comic book fan or not, is Batman and Robin. Now, you may be wondering which Robin I'm talking about because there's been a crap ton of Robins over the years. Well, I'm just talking about the Robin mantle in general, even though the first Robin, Dick Grayson, is my favorite. The Robin role is just really cool no matter who dons the domino mask and yellow cape. And because of Robin, we got some of the best characters in comics like Nightwing, Red Hood, and Red Robin, who were all Robins before they went solo, taking up their individual identities as all sidekicks eventually do. And yes, I know Tim Drake still has the word Robin in his alter ego name, but he's not Batman's sidekick anymore. He's the leader of the Teen Titans. I also have to mention that the original Robin, Dick Grayson, is such a bamf, he took over the role as Batman for a while during Bruce Wayne's apparent death. Jason Todd, the second Robin, was also Batman for a bit, but a more darker, brutal version of Batman, and eventually got debunked from the Batman persona by the previous mentioned Dick Grayson. The Robin character has paved the way for other great sidekicks who came after him, like Bucky and Red Arrow, just to name a few. So in my humble opinion, and I'm sure many others would agree, the Boy Wonder easily deserves the #1 spot on this list for even more reasons than I've mentioned. GoDaddy.com has everything you need to put your business online and find new customers. Get started by registering a domain name and creating your website with GoDaddy's easy-to-use website builder. Already have a site? No problem. Keep it running fast with GoDaddy Web Hosting. Visit GoDaddy.com and enter the promo code VARIANT30 to save 30% on your new purchases. Some limitations apply. See the website for details. First up for Wednesday, June 18th, we have Thor, God of Thunder, issue 23. Thor's battle to save the world comes to an epic conclusion. Now we have Daredevil issue 4. The Owl is back, but he's not working alone. Watch as the Daredevil team permanently redefines one of Daredevil's oldest enemies, deadlier than ever. Here we have Harley Quinn issue 7. This series, plain and simple, has just been a fun title to read with great artwork. If you're a fan of Harley Quinn, you need to be reading this. Next we have Batman Eternal issue 10. This is the best weekly title out right now in my opinion. It's full of action, mystery, and even some supernatural elements. And finally, we have Batman and Ra's al Ghul issue 32. The hunt for Robin concludes, Batman has caught up with Ra's al Ghul, and the battle for the bodies of Talia and Damian begin. And that brings today's episode to a close, but I do have to announce the winner of last week's Versus episode with the Red Hood versus Winter Soldier, and you guys voted that the Red Hood would beat the Winter Soldier. I also want to mention, I know there's tons of other great sidekicks out there like Batgirl, who almost made my list, Kid Flash, Aqualad, and so on, but they all couldn't make my list. With that said, however, I want to know what your top 5 sidekicks are. It's just always fun to see other people's lists, so leave your list in the comment section down below. And remember, you could always like our Variant Facebook page to keep up with the show and all things comic related. You can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Arris_Quinones, but I will see you guys next week when I talk about all things comics. He becomes a Winter Soldier. He becomes a Winter Soldier. Hey, Mr. J. His country. So I think that's all I have to say. Okay. L.